And howdy, nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day where my voice sounds weird because I keep coughing. All sorts of stuff in the air. Yay! Gotta love that. It's gonna be at mid-September in the mid-90s today, so joy on that. Fan is not running at the moment, but it will be. Stuff is not quite open and running out there, but it will be. I woke up late, 7:15. I have taken medications because ow on both sides, and I have a massive headache. Yay! I've had massive headaches coming up over the past couple of weeks. Could it be stress? Likely. Could it be the spinal stenosis? Possible. Could it be just headaches? Possible. Yay! So life is joyous, and it actually is. I got stuff to talk about because yesterday sucked. Seems to be a common theme in my life. But first, I love being organic. But first, I was asked in comments about a spider report, and I've got a story to tell where I'm sad about this. I'd mentioned that there was a little orb weaver that's over there, that she had put up a little orb just between my monitor and my dead Xbox. And so she was just a little dot. And then she moved her web over so that it was more in front of my monitor, so that I would be looking at my second monitor, and I noticed that there was something there, got in close, and she had moved there. And it's dark most of the time, except when like I'm recording or playing something, so I didn't really notice. And then I was like, oh cool, she's still there, because she had vanished for a day or so. And then I had to do some stuff right over there with some audio cords. And when I looked back up, that had destroyed her orb. She had put one of her guidelines down on the stuff that I was pulling apart, and that just destroyed her web. And I felt so bad about that because I like that little spider. I'm a human being, and that little spider is small, and human beings generally equate small with cute. So she's very cute right now because she's so small in her web. I mean, she's just a dot. Not an actual dot, but she is tiny. And so, during the time yesterday, I fell asleep from like 4 o'clock till 9 o'clock. So that was great, right here in my chair. But during that time, she spun a new orb, and she's in it right now. And I looked at that last night, and I went over and I gently jiggled. I have a little camera bag that I'll carry around as kind of an anxiety bag with stuff inside that will help. And so when I go walkies, it's got things inside of it that I carry, like my cell phone. It's kind of like, I kind of use it like a purse that way. It's got stuff in it that I'll need, but it's just a camera bag. But I carefully looked at her orb, looked at the bag, moved the bag, and her orb moved. So she put one of her guidelines on the bag. Now this morning, it seems like the angle has changed a little. She might have torn it down and put up a new one. I gotta check. But yesterday when I noticed that, I had to be so careful with my stuff, because I have stuff here. I mean, you may notice I use that. Here's my cell phone. But yeah, nice cell phone, isn't it? I just pay for a Verizon flip phone. But point being, I had to be very, very careful because I didn't want to tear down her web again. She's to my eyes, because I have lost my arachnophobia almost entirely. I'm only afraid of spiders in that I don't like any small critter. Human beings have a genetic imperative to not let creepy crawlies get on us, because creepy crawlies tend to be venomous. And you can die from that. So we have an inborn ugh for tiny creepy crawlies. I don't have much of that, so looking at her and such is not an issue anymore. I used to be freaked out by spiders. At the same time, I would get drunk back when I was drinking in this house that we were renting for 10 years in Bellingham, Washington. I would get drunk and go down into the basement, and the basement was just an absolute spider factory. I was arachnophobic, but I was not going to let my fears rule me, so I would go down into the basement. I wouldn't get close to anything. I would just be down there where they were, and you could see them everywhere. So, we have the little spider there. And there have been spiders elsewhere, and there are lots of garden spiders outside. And when I say lots, I mean not nearly as many as there used to be. But here we are in mid-September, and I can go out and I can, if I look, I can find all the little garden spiders that have put up webs and such. And when I was walking, oh boy, I got more walkies and Debacle stories coming up. Late yesterday, when I went walkies on the path behind the library where they have the stream, when you walk along those, you're going to get covered with webs. I mean, spiders live outside, and that path is outside. And spiders put paths are really, really good for catching prey because they're more open and bugs will fly more where paths are. So they put webs where there are paths, and then things walk through them, of course, so yay. But just guidelines and webs that are just free to attach onto something, and they're just going boink across my face or here across or across my arms, and then I could see a glint of light, and then it would go boing across the bridge of my nose, so I was constantly having to stop to pull them off my face, or I'd hit the top of a web, bottom of a web with the top of my hair, got that right that time, and then it would go rip across there, and it was like I would keep going, but I would say to the spiders as I was walking, you know, I would say, yes, it is a nice path, yes, there are lots of prey here, but you know, you need to build in your accommodations for megafauna like me. You know, I'm too big to catch and eat, so we're just going to tear your web down. I mean, if you could catch me, I'd be good eating. 125,000 calories in a human being, after all. You know, that could last a spider quite some time. So if they could catch me, that would be good, but no. Megafauna is anything that's like 40 kilograms or greater, and we are greater than 40 kilograms. We are megafauna, not just fauna, megafauna. Yay. So, spiders everywhere out in the wild, and I was stopping and looking at the webs and looking at the little spiders as they were there, and apologizing as I was tearing them down as I was walking, because just I was there. But thumbs up, spiders are awesome. And going on to this, we're going to talk about, oh boy, I need to call up the Veterans Village, because this, we may have to start all over again and invalidate everything we did yesterday. I was told that they needed, you could go to the Department of Social and Health Services. You could get an income verification from them along with the verification of what the Department of Social and Health Services gives you, so that you could get the Social Security information and the Department of Social and Health Services information all on one page and submit that. And then I got the call that I needed to go out and fill out the forms online because they need the actual certification letter. They won't take the information from this government service that's a part of the same government that they work for, part of the same network of services. They're not going to take that governmental department services information. I actually need to get the income verification from Social Security themselves. It's going to be the same information, but it's going to be from Social Security instead of being Social Security information mixed with Department of Social and Health Services information. So we get out there, and the person that's ends up helping me the most is new. Hasn't done this stuff, hasn't worked there a lot, is new at doing this stuff. And so she's getting frustrated because when we get into it, it says, okay, we're going to send you a letter with this authentication, whatever the word is. We're going to physically mail you the authorization that you need to enter into the form so that you can continue. They don't send you to a site. They don't email you or text you anything. No. They're going to send me a letter. So we're like, that doesn't seem right. So we finally get it all fixed out. We make me a new email address because I use a password manager, because I finally have started using strong passwords in that I will type down, I'll open up my word processor, and let's say I'm going to make up a fake one for, I don't know, Hotmail. And so I would type out a password for Hotmail, just going, well, this is great. I've got to make up a new password, so here's my new password for Hotmail. And then I just take the first letter of every word and then write that string of letters all down. And then I replace a bunch of them with digits, pop in a symbol in the middle, and then a punctuation mark at the end, and that's my password. There is no way on God's green earth I am going to be able to memorize a 8 to 12 long string of these just random digits and letters. So I use a password manager. I don't have the password manager on her computer, so I can't use my standard email. We make up an email address, and I didn't get the information. That was supposed to be the plan, so I hope they kept that login information, because if not, we can't use that address and we'll have to start the process all over again, because yes, when you request income verification from Social Security, from the Social Security website, when you enter the information, they physically mail you a letter in the post office service with your 5-letter and number code to enter into their online form. So I have to wait however many business days for this letter to show up. And if they didn't keep the little post-it notes, we have to start the process over again today. How long is all this going to take when we get the information? The 30th is racing at me fast. My neighbor is concerned, and she's asking around to see if any of her if any of her contacts know of like a room or stuff to rent, because she doesn't want to see me homeless either. So we're all trying. All we can do is wait. I've got the storage unit. Yesterday I had to send a letter to the library from my therapist for emotional support animal, which meant I had to go to the library to pick it up, and then from the library walk to the Veterans Village and do the form. From there, had to walk to the storage unit place and finally put my lock on my unit. And then from there, I was able to walk home. Yesterday, I started at around, it was before 1 o'clock, but I don't know how before 1 o'clock. And I got back after 4 o'clock. I was 3 hours of almost solid walking. And I walked closer to 8 miles than I did to 6 miles. It was in the 7-mile range and way over toward this side, but then rather than the shorter side. I sat down and fell asleep for hours. I am physically, emotionally, and mentally exhausted. Yay. But checking the time and looking at my list, the big thing that I've still been thinking, I've been thinking a lot about a lot of stuff on the creative side. I have made my previous setting with Scarbat, Milliander, and Ilchenka a layer in this place so that they are now a part of the setting. I've been thinking a lot about the relationship between Ushenya and Skarbach, which is among the dwarves of his nomadic tribe that rides horses on the surface. They are nomadic horse-riding dwarves. Dwarves are a surface-dwelling race in this setting. And they're nomadic, they ride horses. I'm trying to remember where I was going with that. Yes, with Scarbat, when I build up this much information to use this much information for the story that's about this big. Among Scarbat's people, they are going through a linguistic drift on a consonant. They had a non-standard consonant that is being phased out. The functional translation is it is a sharp K. Right now, it is perfectly acceptable to pronounce that with Scarbat name, Scarbat, who has the sharp K at the end of his name. You can pronounce it Skarbak, Skarbag, Scarbat, or Scarback. Oh, probably repeated that once or twice, but it's all of those are perfectly acceptable. Ulshenya, for him, pronounces it Skarbach, which is more closer to the original pronunciation. It's being phased out, not many people use it, but because he took the trouble to learn how to say her name in the Kalendran language that hasn't been used for a lot, but it's coming back because the Kalendran skeletal remains of humans are making trade routes, so people learn their language. But amongst that, of course, her name, because of the weird way that the zombie plague inside of them makes their voices sound with the accent that no one understands. Why? Because they're not using their voice boxes. They don't have any. They're skeletal remains. But they sound like this. And no one knows why, because inside of their heads they don't. When she talks, her name is Ilchenka, because that's the way it comes out. But in Kalendran, it's Olshenya. It flows. It's nicer. He took the time to learn that. So she calls him and pronounces it as best she can by the old proper pronunciation, even as it moves. Scarbat is the pronunciation that seems to be actually winning out in the linguistic drift race. So I'm thinking a lot about them. Well, at the same time, on the cryptid science fiction setting, because this guy, when he lands there with everyone else and they find the ruins, but she can see some of the cryptid material, still checking my time, because of his presence, and he touches a machine that is a cryptid machine that nobody else can see or interact with, cryptid energy starts to flow out of this solid state machine. That activates his cryptid genes. He becomes a cryptid. Through time, because nobody knows exactly what's going on with him, they know something weird happens because he goes into a coma for a couple days, comes out of it, and afterward, they can't do any medical stuff because reality can't let some things mix or it's going to have to tear everything apart, so kick stuff down the road. It's easier just to make stuff not work than it is to tear everything apart. So trying to get internals on him, stuff don't work. And such like that. When he's doing cryptid stuff, security cameras don't work. As time goes on, through time, and they expand, and with expansion machinery, they're able to expand quickly. And with oxygen generation, they can expand quickly. And in time, he only needs to eat like one human being every year. There comes to be an urban legend about the thing. Because even with all the tech and all the safety stuff, colonization in space is dangerous. People die all the time. People do stupid stuff. You can only idiot-proof things so far. And even when we think we're being smart, we will do stuff like walk out of a doorway without checking to see how far the bottom is, and then thump, we fall and crash. We can be as smart as we like, but you can't idiot-proof anything, and everyone can be an idiot at some point. People die. It happens. Usually there's a body, but every once in a while someone dies and they don't find the body. Now still, that can happen, but an urban legend starts to spring up because it's something that happens fairly consistently, but just over time. Urban legend springs up. Cryptids aren't just themselves. They are subject to our fears, our hopes, our dreams, our nightmares, our best and our worst. Because the urban legend is springing up, it's beginning to change him. Thumbs up for that, so I'm working on that as well. And checking the time, it's very late. I would like to thank each and every one of my Patreon patrons who are not up here on the screen. I record and edit and render these things on my PlayStation 4, and I can't put up a great big old list. There's limitations on what a PlayStation can do. So I still wish to thank each and every one of my Patreon patrons. They are beautiful and awesome people. Without your help, I and my aging pet would be hosed like Christmas monkeys. Thank you very much. I need to turn off this spotlight. I wish to thank everybody who has donated to my GoFundMe and has donated to my PayPal in the past. Thumbs up, thank you. It is appreciated. I still have a PayPal, so if you want to donate, that'd be awesome. But I had the GoFundMe, and all of the links to these things are down below, so awesome on that. And I'm going to go through and thank however many people have left me comments in the past 24 hours. Why was I pointing to my throat to say I can speak English? It'd be more like here, I would think. I can speak English. Sorry that I'm having troubles. I'm going to thank each and every one of you who has left me a comment in the past 24 hours. If I mispronounce the username, no disrespect is intended. And even though I count in American Sign Language, I'm not really paying attention. It's just a way to keep my hands moving. So use it or lose it. Doesn't matter how much it hurts. So we have Jesse Koskinen. Thumbs up, thank you. And as awful as it may be, because it's a reminder that we all die, they are very cute little skeletons, especially the sea snake one. It's actually very, very cute. So thumbs up on that. And then we have J-double-Y. Oy vey, I have no luck. Or as it goes in this one song, if it weren't for bad luck, I'd have no luck at all. But hey, good to see you in the comments. And made in Canada. I certainly hope that you enjoyed the spider report. And yeah, I don't like it being empty, but it's going to get emptier because I continue to move stuff. So yay on that. And then we have Pop Blast. Thumbs up. Thank you. And I don't know how likely I am to get the tiny room. I honestly don't know. The people there think it's not an issue, that I should be accepted, no problem. But they haven't gotten any exception, nobody's been accepted yet. So, I don't know. It's driving everybody crazy though. And then we have Confused Owl. Thumbs up. Good to see you in the comments, my friend. And you take care, and I hope to see you in the comments and more. So, take care. We have Gangster Disciple. I'm going to check out the 5-HTP, so thumbs up. And there is COLBYELMORE, thumbs up, thank you. I finally figured out I killed my system sounds in the system stuff, so it keeps, you know what though? Every time it does that, it makes a mess on the screen. It hasn't done it. I don't even know if it's been disconnecting since I turned off the sounds. Probably since I turned off the sounds, it's not doing it anymore. So, and that is it. Thank you each and every one of you that left me a comment. There's never many anymore. Anything more than 0 is awesome. Thumbs up and thank you each and every one of you. Get me out of my head, into the world, dealing with real people, and that is appreciated. My housemates came by last week and they did some cleaning up. They filled up the garbage entirely, so I had to put some extra bags out by the garbage can because they filled that entirely and then left. So there's a lot of garbage out there. I'm hoping they'll pick it up because otherwise, And most confusing, I need to contact my housemates on Facebook because remember when I said last week the guinea pigs were going to be rehomed? They're still down there. I don't know what's going on. I'm still taking care of them. They were supposed to be gone last Saturday. I have no ideas. But I'm going to do what I can do today. A lot of it is going to be making calls and then trying to rest and trying to do my best getting my stuff. I've got to go through my stuff that I'm keeping and throw out more of it because a 10 by 10 ain't huge. Hopefully you can get done the things that you would like to get done. But if you can't, don't beat yourself up. Thumbs up for that. So, until we meet again, he bursts into action. Until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is indeed a very good thing, he said, waving his arms around in the air like he just didn't care. And until I do something where it really goes, like right there, I really don't care. It's only when I can go like this and push this arm way back here. That's how I wash my arm back here. I just give it a shove all the way back there, and then I wash back this way. I can't reach any further than, right here with this arm. Because, oh my God. And it's not a stretch or tight or muscle thing. I mean, the muscles are complaining, but it's the nerves, because it will reach, just my nerves don't want it to do that. So yay. Anyway though, putting my hand in a high contrast position, there we are. Having this here so that I can say goodbye. So you take care. I will see you on the flip side. Am I going to get something recorded today? Depends on how much I'm going to be able to get done packing up and cleaning and dumping things. So we shall see. We shall see.